Hi everyone, my name is Grace. So I would like to share with you how you can win more jobs by streamlining your BDC workflow. As you may have already experienced the impact of COVID-19 on the economy, we can foresee that it will be getting more and more difficult to win new jobs. For some contractors, bid win rate is as low as 1 out of every 35. Are you struggling to secure and win more jobs in this competitive environment? I would like to discuss a few effective strategies for your bidding process. What are your current strategies to win more jobs? A typical method is to offer the lowest bid by slashing your price and profit margin. Method 2 is to increase the bidding volume by submitting bids for every project. I don't think these typical methods are sustainable for your business. Cutting your price may not yield enough income for your expense. That would result in financial difficulties for your business. Competitive bidding is not a volume game. It's not a wise practice to bid for every job, as you will waste a lot of time, effort, and money. What can you do? You can win more jobs by increasing your overall productivity, so you can expect a lot of cost reduction and time saving. Instead of reducing the price, why not just offering more value? You can charge a premium by providing more value to your clients so they can share their cost saving with you. It is crucial to differentiate your brands with highly skilled and experienced team among thousands of competitors. Accurate quantity takeoff, cost estimation plays a vital role for the success of bidding process. Okay, so what can you do to increase the productivity and provide more value? You can consider adopting a better VDC software. One expert suggests that by lowering your cost by 1%, you could reduce the number of bids that you generate in a year by 10% and still make your volume and margin growth. If you are still using the traditional tools, I recommend you to differentiate your brand through the technology advancement by using the next generation VDC software Fuzor. Now you might be thinking, my existing tool can meet the requirement. Why do I need to switch and invest in new tools? It is because you need to be the first there. One of the easiest ways that you can win more jobs is to preempt the competition. You need to develop a better workflow and your competitive advantages before your competition. Check out what these leaders are doing. These top construction companies have already started implementing Fuzor for their BDC workflow a couple of years ago. You need to differentiate your 4D deliverables with your competitors. How do you want to differentiate yourself? Presenting the traditional 4D software or the one created by Fuzor with full details. Okay, now you may be thinking, oh, I'm giving a tight deadline. I don't have enough time to add more details. It is correct if you are using the traditional workflow. Older workflow requires multiple software throughout the VDC project lifecycle. You use Navisworks for construction sequence simulation, VDMS for animation, Lumion for rendering, After Effects for video editing. It may be fine if you don't make any changes. Yet, it is very common to have schedule and model changes. It is very time-consuming and frustrating to go through the whole process of each modification. It is totally possible to increase your efficiency and productivity by using the all-in-one VDC software, such as Fuzor. You can use Fuzor to create detailed 4D simulation, method statement simulation, site logistic planning, project cost simulation, construction progress tracking. When comparing to the traditional VDC tools, Fuzor has a stunning graphic to present your 4D simulation to clients clearly. It has a quick and easy equipment animation workflow to save time and cost. It can create 4D with high level of details. It is very user-friendly. You can also learn it quickly. It also accommodates the needs of the latest developments such as VR and AR. So Fuzor is not just for now. We also take care of your future developments. It also handles large-scale projects. More importantly, Fuzor helps you to win more projects. No matter what types of project that you are bidding, you can create impressive 4D simulations to underline your qualifications and skill set to impress clients. Here is an example. Oh, sorry. Fuzor has a full toolset to generate the deliverables for your projects. Let's go through the Fuzor 4D workflow. Interoperability of data among various softwares is always a challenge. You don't need to worry about it when using Fuzor. Fuzor has a good solution to handle it. It doesn't matter if you are using Bentley, Autodesk, or any other tools. Fuzor has a workflow to work with them perfectly. Other speakers will share with you the details. Fuzor has a seamless integration with P6, Microsoft Project, Power Projects. You can load the schedule to Fuzor through XML with all the logical links. You can continuously update the schedule and maintain the linkage between the tasks and 3D models. If you don't want to load the schedule, you can create the schedule from 3D model within Fuzor. There are various toolsets in Fuzor to help you to select and filter the objects quickly and easily. You can use the Auto Assign workflow to help you to automatically assign the object to the tasks. The object filter system of Fuzor is also really robust for you to set the rules to filter the objects. It is just super easy to learn and create animation in Fuzor. Let's see how you can create a mobile crane animation in 2 minutes. Okay, so the first step is that you can create a staging task, and then you can add the structure framing to the ground. And then you can go to the Fuzor content library, and then you can search the LTM, the mobile crane. Okay, so for each equipment, right, it is based on our actual catalog. So you can just let the rigger flow, and then you can select the telescoping session, and then you can adjust it. Okay, and then for the operation of the mobile crane, so you can see that it can show the the working radius as well. So you can see whether it will crash with potential items or other equipment. Okay, you just add a keyframe. Okay, so yeah, in order to help you to locate the position precisely, there are other windows as well. So you can view it from different angle. This is a top view, yeah, and also the elevation view. Okay, so after you finish the animation, you can create an equipment task, and then you can turn the animation into simulations. So this is to control when this mobile crane will operate. So it support up to minutes, yeah, up to seconds, yeah. So you can add it to the equipment task. So the mobile crane will operate on the dates, the start date, and also complete it on the end date. Okay, like this. Okay, so why you can do it so quickly? It is all because Fuzor offers an intensive construction vehicle library that comes with the adjustable animation. The equipment is modeled based on the actual catalog. Okay, not only you can use it to create method statements, but also to simulate the operation of the equipment in the construction site. Okay, so this is an example. Check out this video, how you can simulate the operation of the excavator from the driver view. You can find the panel to control different parts of the equipment that is the same as the view equipment. Okay. Okay, there is a lengthy conversion process. If you use the traditional animation workflow, it requires years of training and the rendering time is very long. The Fuzor animation is 40 times faster as you don't need to do rigging, bind skin, and the rendering time is a lot shorter. You may have a question, can you create animation for your custom equipment? Yes, you can use the Fuzor sequence animation and multi-track tool to create and build up your own animation library. Again, you can learn in 10 minutes. No animation knowledge is required. Here is an example how you can create multiple animation of the RCD and reuse the animation in different projects. Okay, so you can create multiple animation of the RCD here, multi-tracks. Okay. Okay, then you can create different sequence animation tasks to control when you're going to pay the animations. After you finish the animation, you can save it. Okay, and then you can load it to other project to reuse it. Creating detailed method statement simulation is hassle-free in Fuzor. You can anticipate potential problems with design and building process, workflow, safety, and other concerns by enabling project team to walk through the construction process step by step during the design and planning phases. Okay, so we have an example to show you the curtain wall panel installation. So I think I'm not going to play the video. Okay, so there's a built-in advanced cinematic editor, help adding necessary annotation and render out high-quality 4D video quickly without go through other video editing software. So this is the precast wall installation. Yeah. So you can add the call title in Fuzor directly. Yeah. Is there a better way to differentiate your deliverables from your competitors? Have you ever considered to generate a free self-executable viewer to share with your clients? Okay, for this viewer, no need to install. Okay, so you can add custom dialog box. You can add a voiceover to give more instructions to guide your clients through the method statement. Your clients can view it from different perspectives and have a full understanding on the construction methodologies and method statements. You don't need to create multiple 4D video for them to just view it from different angles. How can you do better for site logistic planning? You can plan ahead to avoid the delay and minimize the impact on the surrounding environments. Fuzor Event Checker to help you to create a road closure simulation to get the approval from the authority. Yeah, like this. Okay, good site logistic planning ensure the construction materials. Good site logistic planning ensure the construction materials arriving the site on time. So this is one of the simulation and also the illustration to showcase you. Resources resources planning and accurate cost estimation are important for your bidding process. Fuzor generates multi-activity chart to give you a quick view on the idle time of the construction workers and machines. You can reallocate the activities to achieve the optimum mix of resources. So Fuzor not just generate the multi-activity charts through PDF, you can also produce a simulations using the 4D. Okay, so you can just use the selection report to extract the data from the 4D model to calculate the resources needed for different activities and perform other analysis. So I know that you can use Revit to extract the quantity. You can also better utilize the 4D models. Okay, so you can extract all the data from the model itself, for example, okay, the volume, area, okay, length, materials, and so on. So this is a quick video to show you how you can use it. Okay, so you can select the task. Okay, and then there's a selection app in Fuzor. It will show you the reports. Okay, then you can load it to other software, for example, Excel, to do the calculation. Okay, so you can use the Fuzor bidirectional live link to resolve the clashes before construction, so the rework can be minimized.
Export detailed clash reports to share with colleagues. Streamline clash tests using our award-winning bidirectional live link to resolve clashes in real time.
Okay, VR safety prevents delays and injuries during construction. Okay, Fuzor offers an immersive and realistic experience for construction workers to identify and fix potential hazards before construction. Let's check out the video.
Enter VR with one click to start a VR safety simulation. Create interactive prompts for safety training scenarios. Show installation steps, statement of methods, toggle 2D drawings, and more. Enter
Different type of VR safety training applications can be developed using our event checker.
Create VR or PC training scenarios in 2 steps. No need to write a single line of code to create fully interactive safety training.
Okay, so event checker is a programming without coding. You don't need to use any script or programming language. So anyone can learn it and use it.
Create
Project feasibility is a key factor in keeping project on track. How can you do better for project control and management? Okay, the Panda and actual 4D simulation help your clients understand the progress by visualizing the deviation so the project can plan to catch up the progress. In Fuzor, you can load the Panda and actual schedule as well as the cost data to produce the S-curve. If you would like to know the percentage of completion for tasks, Fuzor supports the progress update and data. Let's see how it works. Okay, so there's a data date button. You can simply just change this date to that date. It will update you the progress. Being able to visualize the critical tasks helps to set the priority for your projects. You can know the number of flow in your schedule. Okay, if you Fuzor, you can visualize the flow. So there's a highlight. You can use the color highlight function to visualize the flow in Fuzor. Here is the setting. The real-time collaboration platform of Fuzor allows stakeholders in multiple locations to interact and discuss the project real-time through the internet. It is a very good tool set under the COVID-19 that people cannot meet physically. You can also download the Fuzor app to develop the paperless defect checking system. You can use the mixed reality to project the virtual model on the actual construction site to rehearse the installation work. Let's see how it works.
QR codes align the 3D model with the real world. View 3D model data while on
Isolate
site
hallway
and review each 4D task in sequence.
Next task, today's date, last date.
QR codes align the
Okay, digital twin application will continuously update the real construction activities. The problem can be captured earlier. You can react and resolve the problems quickly. Fuzor API is available for your custom digital twin application developments. Okay, so I hope you have a better understanding on what Fuzor offers for the digital construction management. If you're interested in adopting Fuzor for your VDC workflow, you can contact me for further discussion. You can find my details below. I think that's it for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace, for your informative presentation. Now, our second speaker would be Victoria Jones, the Senior Digital Engineer from Work. Her presentation topic is bringing Fuzor to the East-West Rail Phase 2 projects for detailed construction sequences and program validation. Welcome, Ms. Jones.
Good morning. I'm Victoria Jones and I'm a Senior Digital Engineer on the East West Rail Phase 2 project. I'm going to be talking to you today about how I brought Fuzor to the project, some of the challenges faced and how the software has been a success in providing highly detailed construction sequences and 4D models for program validation. I'm also going to talk about the highly detailed images that can be generated as a result, its excellent VR capability along with its viewer generator, which allowed for other members of the team to view and interact with the model without any additional software. First, though, I'll quickly provide some background on East West Rail, which is a major project to establish a strategic railway connecting East Anglia with central, southern and western England. In particular, building a line connecting Oxford and Cambridge via Bicester, Milton Keynes and Bedford using the track bed of the former Varsity line, which has been out of service for many years. I work as part of the delivery team on Section 2C, which is responsible for dismantling the Bletchley flyover, which is a reinforced concrete railway viaduct built in 1959 to carry the former Varsity line over the West Coast Main Line in Bletchley. So I certainly wasn't the first person to be using Fuzor within Rourke. The first time I encountered Fuzor was at an in-house digital engineering event where the software was being showcased for its straightforward VR capability. I was really impressed with how easy it seemed to be to bring the model directly into Fuzor and be immersed in VR at the click of a button. I could see its potential for stakeholder engagement along with conveying safety messages clearly to the site teams in a fun and engaging manner. However, upon receiving the license and having a bit of a play with the software, I soon realised that it had potential to do substantially more. However, after speaking with a colleague showcasing the event, I knew that there would be some challenges in terms of the format of the design models in the project and creating a viable workflow, particularly with this being a rail project and not a sort of traditional construction project. So rail projects traditionally use the Bentley suite of software whose outputs are in DGN format, and I knew that Fuzor had bidirectional associativity with a range of Autodesk and Graphisoft software, but it didn't work directly with any of the Bentley outputs. However, the DE team had previously ironed out the process for converting DGN files to IFC and importing these into Revit. The surveying team had also created their digital terrain models in DWG format, which could also be brought into Revit very easily and cleanly and converted into a topo surface. The project already utilised a range of modelling software, and it soon became clear that these could be used to create an effective workflow for Fuzor outputs. In the first instance, an IFC was created from the ACOSIM or microstation model, which could be imported directly into Revit. However, there were issues where some of the geometry had faces missing or cuts were coming through with solids. Using ArchiCAD's excellent IFC export capabilities, the broken models could be fixed and exported again as IFC to be used within Revit. There was also the ability to utilise ArchiCAD to generate the Fuzor models, but the topo tools at this particular point in time were required initially. Once the model was set up within Revit, it was a simple process to generate the Fuzor model. Because Fuzor accepts FBX and SKP files so readily, it was so easy to model any components that weren't available within the Fuzor standard library, which is pretty comprehensive to be fair. I used SketchUp and 3ds Max predominantly to create additional models, and there was a wealth of models available within 3D Warehouse, which was incredibly useful. With this being a large linear project, context modelling was key to add that extra realism and detail. Initially, I used the Revit tools to generate a 3D OS map based on LiDAR information, but creating roads was awkward and fiddly. However, after discovering InfraWorks' ability to export to FBX format, I rapidly created a large context tile containing road infrastructure and dropped it directly into my Fuzor model. This was key, as some of the sequence animations with a local authority to show how the dismantled 400-ton sections of bridge would be transported around the town of Bletchley. So it does make it sound like you have to be a modelling expert, but I can assure you don't. It was really, really straightforward to create the additional components needed. The ones that we didn't model, we were able to find in 3D Warehouse very easily. And also the team at Fuzor had helped out with a couple of items too. So I'm going to show you some of the animations that I've generated for the project so far. This is by no means a complete collection. I've had to shorten them right down as some were particularly lengthy, but this particular animation was from the first Fuzor model that I created, which was a pretty small footprint of the flyover. One of the early tasks of the bridge dismantling was to remove the parapet barriers, and there was no detailed program as such at this point, so the software was used purely to just create a quick animation which could be utilised to give the team and the client a good understanding of the process. I was also able to export these animations to an executable file format, and along with the clear instructions included within the model itself, this allowed the design team to use the model to view the procedure at different angles and at different times. They were also able to take measurements and annotate, which was particularly useful where the clearance along the bridge was so important. Unfortunately, I've got no music for this, but okay. So this particular video extract was created to show the sequence of the new OLE installation, the overhead line electrification, and the software was absolutely key to showing the exact procedure where track possession meant that time was of the essence. Some of the plant used were standard components within the Fuzor library, which were incredibly easy to use. As Grace demonstrated, the grab function is one of the most useful animation tools within this software. But the ease that you can actually animate non-Fuzor items as well meant this Fuzor really is my go-to software for quick animation. This particular video was used many times on site to make sure the teams knew exactly which lines had activities that ran concurrently. The fact that it was exportable as an MP4 or could be viewed as an interactive model using the viewer generator, and also being able to use them on phones and tablets, meant that access to this information was quick and easy, and the site teams expressed how helpful they were. This is just showing the piles going in the Movax and hammer. So this has been shortened down because there were quite a few that were fitted along the line, and I think some of the activities with the piles were running concurrently, so it was important to see which lines were being used at which time. I think there the Movax, the hammer there, so the Movax, sorry, and the trailer. So the Movax is a Fuzor item, and the trailer was an item that I modelled and just dropped in, so it's quite easy to put the animations together. And this is just showing the new structures going in. So. So where the bridge was being dismantled, because it's so old, there have been animals roosting, and in particular bats, which are obviously protected. So the ecology team actually approached digital engineering and wanted a quick model, creating along with an animation to show the bat presence using a colour-coded system. Obviously, red sections are no-go areas, yellow were potential roosts, and green was clear. With it being such a quick and simple process to change the material properties of the bridge beams, I was able to quickly create a model and animation that clearly showed which parts of the bridge could be worked on without disturbing the bats. And this entire process took probably an hour or two, just to quickly change the materials, check it with the ecology team, and create the fly through and the viewer. Really, really straightforward process. And yeah, seems very happy with that. With the construction programme having been put together at this point, there was a requirement for the planning team to be able to have the programme validated and look for any issues with the sequence. It was a straightforward process to bring the programme in XML format directly into Fuzor and associate the tasks with the geometry, and then create the subsequent animations to clearly show the sequence. Again, there was also the added benefit of the viewer creation tool within the software that allowed the entire model and sequence to be exported as an exe file, which not only took the 3D geometry but also the programme, allowing the users to adjust the date, take measurements and annotate. It also became really useful for members of the team to take their own screenshots for their own communications. There's also a quick extracts after this showing the ALO hoarding line and the activities that would be occurring while trains were running down the track, and obviously that was key from a safety perspective. I think that's going to come in just a sec. So obviously 1,000-ton cranes don't move this quickly, but it was really, really useful to show the sequence. And this is the ALO, so ALO is all lines open, so it's just to show some of the activities and obviously the trains whizzing up and down the track with the ALO hoarding line in place. And again, the context environment there, so that the houses in the background, a lot of those came off 3D Warehouse, a lot of them were just easily put together in SketchUp. So this particular animation, where the works involved regular transport of the dismantled components along a public highway, it was felt that our animation would really help local authority and the wider team to understand the process. So using InfraWorks, I created a larger tile with the roads accurately located in place. It's not very easy to do roads in Revit. Well, I found it particularly difficult. With the ease that Fuzor can accept an FBX file, it was really straightforward to drop in. I mean, this is a very large FBX, this is a very large tile taken from InfraWorks, but it dropped into Fuzor without any problems, and the software handles it. It doesn't lag, it seems to cope with it really well. So as you can see, Fuzor has really helped deliver many of the digital engineering outputs on this project. I found the software straightforward to use, and I find the user interface to be very, very easy. Combined with the excellent support I've received from Grace, Amy, Happy and the rest of the team, it's meant that the learning curve has been relatively painless. It's also been good fun to use, especially the VR aspect, watching some of the site team hit the deck when stood next to a virtual operating excavator. I really think that the viewer generator in particular is a real gem, which I think has much more potential than I've been able to sort of utilise it for and perhaps display in this video, but it's a really, really good feature of this software. Okay, that concludes the presentation. I hope it was useful and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Victoria, for your inspiring presentation. Now, our third speaker would be Aravindh Rajendiran, the BIM Manager from Coffey Construction. His presentation is about how Coffey Construction benefits from new technology Fuzor in construction. Welcome, Mr. Rajendiran.
Okay, very good morning, everyone.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, let's give a big appreciation to Henry and Grace Fuzor team for the continuous development. I've been using Fuzor for the last 4 years. So mostly Grace and Victoria covered a lot of introduction. So I'm just going to show some practical example what we achieved in Coffey Construction and in a construction point of view. I'm going to show you some example of where we are, like 5 years ago and then where we are now, so we can get like a good understanding. So my topics today, I'm going to cover how we improve our method statement, and then I'm going to show you our construction sequencing in improved from 2016 to 2020. Before that, I just want to give a quick overview of Coffey Construction. Coffey Construction started in 1991. We've been in construction industry for the last over 27 years. So these are our key directors, key group directors, and then yeah, our main type of work is concrete frameworks, groundworks, and we do demolition as well. Let me start the practical example. Let me show our method statement. Yeah. So hope you see the screen. Hold on. Yeah. So you can see that this is our method statement which we produced in 2016. If you look at it, you can see most of them are just a lot of words, and everything just described in words. So people are not really interested in reading all those words. Especially clients who doesn't know anything about construction, they were not really interested to look at any of these words. So how Fuzor help us? We can able to create images of time slices within minutes. So our methodology is improved with adding like a lot of images, and it's just self-explanatory. Just show everything in detail clearly. If as you can see from the methodology, you can see everything will be in detail, so you can able to understand rather than reading all the description. And the next thing, I'm going to show you a quick example of our individual sequence, how we use Fuzor. Yeah, this is a great example how we improved from 2016 to 2019. So if you look at in 2016, most of our presentations are based on like wordings and just 2D sketches. And then after 2017, then once we started using Fuzor, we can just do animation within minutes. It's a lot easier. And then it's not only that, you can bring a lot of different software models into one platform, and it's easy to coordinate. It's a very good software. And also, I'm just going to move in quickly because I have only 10 minutes. This is another good example. Like as you can see from this is our old weekly report. When we submit the weekly report, we need to send the program, and we need to send the image. Hope everybody can hear me or no?
Yes, we can hear you. And Aravindh, would you mind click the PowerPoint to full screen so that we can have the...
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is our new weekly report. If you can see, it's all just based on images. You can just see the sequence clearly rather than just looking at the report and reading line by line. And I'm going to show you, yeah. Yeah, can you see the video? So that's a typical wall sequence that we produced using Fuzor. Everything just from Fuzor. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. if you look at it, there are a lot of components, individual components come from different software. It's all just pulled in together in one single platform software, which is Fuzor. You know, it's easy. The animation is a lot quicker, so people can able to understand on site. So I'm just going to show you. This is what we plan on site, and I'm going to show you what we've been built on site here. So you can see that there. So I can show the comparison of what's planned and what's actual built. So yeah, as you can see that during our tender stage, this is what we plan and this is what we build. So which is fantastic. So people know what they're doing on site rather than just looking at only in yeah, that's the comparison. The next thing I'm gonna show you is this is one of our first job that we built using Fuzor, and this is one of our recent job. Both are like same project, but how Fuzor improved. Just show you a good example how the Fuzor team improving continuously. So I'm just gonna press play. So you can see on the right hand side, that's we built in during 2017, and the left hand side that's we built recently. So you can just see the difference, how much Fuzor improved from a yeah, they brought new features that you can able to add like a annotation, markers, everything within Fuzor, so you don't need to take it into new software like After Effects or Premiere Pro. You can just do everything within Fuzor now, which is great. You know, every time you need to produce a video and then you need to bring into like some video editing software to add all the annotations. So now it's easier, a lot easier that you can able to add everything within Fuzor. I mean, I think that's it really. What I'm trying to show, like I've been using for last 4 years. I highly recommend Fuzor. Then just go for it. That's the next generation 4D software in my understanding. So just give it a go. So thank you for listening. Good luck.
Thank you, Aravindh, for your informative presentation. Now we will have our last speaker, Sebastian Antal Vaida, the 4D modeler from Erith, and his presentation topic is how 4D sequence with Fuzor is increasing tender awards in construction industry. Welcome, Mr. Vaida.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Fuzor Digital Construction Revolution webinar. Today I will be discussing about how 4D sequencing with Fuzor is increasing tender awards in construction industry. I will make now a short overview about what the topics I will include. what does it mean for the sequencing in construction industry, for common mistakes, how to get the best out of the 4D, why Fuzor is the right tool, how it benefits the pre-construction team, and how it benefits to the clients. Before I move onwards, I would like to introduce Erith first of all. It's the company I've been working with in the last few years, and we used Fuzor as the main tool for the sequencing. It has been in the business for the last 53 years. It has local knowledge and vast experience working in and around London. It has experience of all types of demolitions, small and large projects, industrial, commercial, and city center cut and carve. And of course, one engineering house, engineering in the house. And myself, I've been studying CAD and engineering design and 3D animation at Greenwich University. I've been in construction industry since 2013, and I'm working on a daily basis with AutoCAD, Revit, Asta Power Project, SketchUp, Adobe, and of course Fuzor. Some of the things that I create are 2D CAD plans, 3D scanning and modeling, 4D sequencing, clash detection, and project programming from time to time. Okay, so what does it actually mean for the construction in general? I have found a really interesting definition of it online, and I'm going to say it now. For deconstruction, sequencing combines 3D models with project programs, creating an intelligent visual construction timeline. For deconstruction, sequencing services enables clients to gain a truer understanding of their project program from the initial draft proposal through the program verification on site. 4D adds an extra dimension of information to project information model in the form of scheduling data. This data is added to components which will build in detail as the project progresses. Now I will present to you guys some of the video animations that myself created with Erith for the projects that we have worked on, and we have used Fuzor. Right. And now let's move onwards. I would like to start talking about the 4 common mistakes that I found that are being frequently in 4D sequencing in today's day. The first one, it's a man's job. It's dumping method statements, ASTA programs, and waiting for just one person to model, read the program, read the method statements, and then create the 40-second sequence by himself and expecting him to complete everything perfectly from the first trial. It is a bit too much. That's why I believe that pre-construction department needs to be, before anything else, a team. No clash detection. Usually this is happening when there is an unexpected, there is an unexperienced 4D modeler who doesn't highlight to the team issues that he is able to visualize after he completed the sequence, which takes me to the next point. For presentation purposes only. This is happening when the entire pre-construction team doesn't realize how critical it is checking the 4D in order to get it right and be ahead of competition, and this way securing tender awards. And last one, but I think is the biggest one, not using an actual 4D sequencing software. Using softwares that have nothing to do with construction industry is a big issue in my opinion. I am sure we all have seen incredible animations renderings that it looks really impressive, but the problem is that's the only positive aspect. There is no 4D sequence there, and it's only the interpretation of the actual modeler who is spending quite a lot of time to produce a very short video. Pre-con cannot actually rely on the renderings and the animation, and I think it's a big factor in losing tenders. Now, how can we get the best out of it? I have created, in my opinion, the first thing is to create the 4D sequence. This is like the most important aspect. And of course, we need to all to start with creating a very drafted sequence of the program for a certain project. This way, when we are going to run the sequence, and but before we run the sequence, in my opinion, we should all do the team meeting, gathering all the colleagues next to our desk, and then basically run the sequence all together. And this way, we can start brainstorming. By doing this, by running the sequence and everyone from Precon being next to it, we can see exactly what needs to be changed, what needs to be added, what things are clashing, where the program has to be changed. After we finish with the brainstorming, we can move to change again the sequence accordingly. Only after we have changed the sequence again, we can run it, and if everyone is happy, then the Precon can be sure that it can and confident that they can present it in front of the client without having any doubts. Why Fuzor? By running Fuzor can work. I have some more bullet points showing exactly why, and I'm going to explain after that one by one. Can work with most of the construction software in the industry. It has the pre-construction support, fast and accurate, and of course impressive rendering capabilities. And I'm going to start with the first one. As we are all aware, Fuzor is adapting to the new changes quite often, and basically every year, Fuzor is very updated with really new things that can make the software work really well. And of course, the linking, basically, Fuzor and the management team is trying to help and use Fuzor in a way that we can link with the rest of the construction industry programs. That's why I think Fuzor deserves its place right next to the rest of the programs. Pre-construction support. As a project evolves, the logistics and detailing can be pushed further with Fuzor. Access and ingress, traffic marshal, site routes, site offices, and pedestrian access can be all visualized and can be accurately proposed and designed, making the project go smoother. By running the, as I was mentioning earlier, it is fast and accurate, and the program alteration, it's very easy. And of course, the plant machines are quite accurate as well. This makes creating the program quite detailed, and also being able to check the logistics prior going on site. And of course, the client can also see exactly what's happening and what will happen. Impressive rendering capabilities. This is what I was mentioning earlier when I was saying that Fuzor can do all. Besides an excellent technical support for the team, the visual graphics of it are very useful when it comes to transfer the information to the client, making it more realistic and understandable. And that was it from myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much. I hope you guys made a good understanding of why 4D sequencing is very important for tendering awards and why Fuzor is the right tool for it. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Sebastian, for the impressive presentation. I really appreciate all presentations given us insights. We appreciate again for joining us in this hour. I hope this webinar would be beneficial to you all and provide you with useful information about the innovative VDC software Fuzor. If you are interested in exploring Fuzor for your VDC workflow, you can find the contact information in our sharing screen here. Yep. Okay, yeah. So here is the contact information you can see. Okay, and again, thanks to Victoria, Aravindh, and Sebastian. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the end of our webinar. Thank you very much to join us this morning. It's been our pleasure to host this event and hope to speak to you again in the future. I wish you all a pleasant day.